Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Todd Chrisley shares his 3 blessings, leaving 2 out. Former Chrisley Knows Best star Todd Chrisley is sharing his 3 blessings, but seems to ignore 2 others. So what makes him feel blessed now that he has been pardoned and released from prison? Keep reading for more details. It has been a whirlwind month for reality stars Julie and Todd Chrisley. He was serving a 12-year sentence, while Julie was serving 7 years, so they would be away for a collective 19 years. Fortunately, their daughter Savannah Chrisley never gave up on them and fought tooth and nail for their freedom. After over 2 years behind bars, President Donald Trump pardoned the couple. He called Savannah and her brother Grayson to break the good news. Within 24 hours, they had been released, and everyone was reunited. Todd and Julie are determined to help others who are trapped in prison but should be freed. While trying to help others as they were, they are also celebrating family time. They have done interviews and press conferences to share some of their experience and how it feels to be home. Todd recently shared a snap of 3 of his children, Grayson, Chase, and Savannah. In the caption, he wrote, "Scrolling through this morning and thanking God for my blessings." He tagged the 3, but noticeably absent from his posting were his wife, Julie, and his youngest, Chloe. Chloe was adopted by Todd and Julie when she was just a baby because her parents were unfit. Her father is Todd Chrisley's son, Kyle, but they have had a very rough relationship. Todd also has a daughter, Lindsay Chrisley, but Savannah has slammed her for helping their parents get convicted. Regardless, Todd has been married to Julie for nearly 30 years, and Chloe is the apple of his eye. So why were they left out? And did his followers notice how he favored 3 family members? It must also be noted that his mother, Nanny Faye, was not featured, and she supported him for years. Of course, followers were thrilled that Todd Chrisley could share his thoughts and blessings from his home without being watched. However, they could not ignore that Chloe Chrisley was not pictured. She has always been a spark in the family, and there was no reason for her to be snubbed. Furthermore, it seemed Chase Chrisley was estranged from his siblings for a short time. He was not on any family trips or engaging with them, which was suspicious. Where is Chloe? What about Kyle and Lindsay? Are they not your world also? You have 2 other older kids, no matter what happened between you and them. You are the parent. Todd Chrisley was disciplined by fans who did not like his exclusion of his other children, even the ones he was estranged. It showed poor character, and many have high hopes for his post-prison life. Hopefully, he does another post to show he has equal love for his whole family, and not just 3 children. Are you shocked at how Todd focused on Grayson, Chase, and Savannah? Moreover, should he include Lindsay and Kyle? Or do they not play a part in his present? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The morning light filtered through the narrow slit in the blinds, casting a muted glow on the polished tile floor of the visitation room. It was one of those sterile government grays, designed to make you forget time, place, and everything else that existed outside the concrete walls. But Todd Chrisley never let drabness dull his shine. Even in khaki prison-issued clothing, he held himself with the same meticulous posture and manicured grace that made him a household name. And this morning, he had something to say. Across from him sat a woman with a recorder and an eyebrow cocked in journalistic skepticism. She'd been granted a 45-minute interview for the Southern Spotlight, a lifestyle magazine that prided itself on mixing Southern charm with unfiltered truth. Todd, of course, loved the camera, even if this time it was just audio. So she began, "Todd, the world's been watching closely. You've gone from real estate mogul to reality TV star to, well, this." Her eyes gestured lightly to the guarded surroundings. Through all that, what keeps you going? Todd smiled, his signature smirk returning like muscle memory. 3 blessings, he said smoothly. That's all it takes. You hold on to your blessings, and the storm can't shake you loose. She leaned forward. 3. Only 3. Todd nodded. Only 3. You don't need more. You need the right ones. He paused, she waited. Finally, he began. First blessing, my mother, Nanny Faye. That woman is 78% sass, 22% wisdom, and 100% the reason I didn't fall apart. You think I'm quick with a quip. Honey, she had me beat by age 5. When the press turned their cameras on us like we were some kind of Southern soap opera, she was the only one who reminded me we were real people. She calls me every week. Still tells me not to slouch, even now. The journalist smiled. Everyone loved Nanny Faye. America had long since adopted her as their own unofficial TV grandmother. Second, Todd continued, is faith. Now, I'm not talking about that Sunday best kind of faith. I mean the kind that meets you in the mess. The kind that says, even here, I'm not done with you. God didn't promise me a mansion. He promised me meaning. And he kept that promise. He closed his eyes for a moment, as if savoring the quiet thought. Third blessing, he said finally, is Grayson, my baby boy. His voice broke slightly on the last syllable. He's grown up faster than any child should have to. 1 minute he's wrestling on the carpet, and the next he's having to be the man of the house while I'm gone. And he's handled it with more dignity than I probably deserve. That kid, he's my heart. He stopped. 3, that was it. He leaned back in the hard plastic chair, lips pressed tight. The journalist furrowed her brow. What about Savannah? Chase? Aren't they blessings too? Todd looked away for a moment, just long enough to suggest the answer wasn't simple. Savannah and Chase are their own category, he said finally. They've been public faces for a long time. They've said a lot, done a lot, and they're figuring things out. I love them, but this isn't about the camera version of blessings. This is about the ones that held me. It was an answer that said everything without saying much at all. The absence of names. Outside the prison walls, the Chrisley family remained splintered. While Savannah had stepped up as guardian of her younger siblings and as vocal defender of her parents, she had also stirred controversy with her social media posts and sometimes contradictory statements. Chase, more aloof, had dipped in and out of the spotlight, his loyalty quiet but inconsistent. And then there was Lindsay and Kyle, rarely mentioned, often misunderstood, and notably absent from Todd's list. It wasn't about love per se. It was about closeness. Timing. The temperature of relationships during the fire. Lindsay had distanced herself from the family years before the legal troubles reached their peak. Kyle had waged his own war with addiction and estrangement. At one point, Todd's relationship with both was fractured enough to seem unfixable. Maybe they weren't left out of the list because they didn't matter, but because their stories were still unwritten. The burden of selection. In truth, listing 3 blessings was never going to satisfy the public. People wanted perfect bows, complete narratives, and happily ever afters. But families, especially Southern ones, were messy. And Todd Chrisley, for all his efforts to curate life into a reality TV dream, had never been able to out-script reality. He didn't list Savannah because love and disappointment can coexist in the same breath, and sometimes you need time before calling something a blessing again. He didn't list Chase because loyalty tested in the fire is harder to explain than loyalty in the sun. He didn't list Lindsay or Kyle because reconciliation is a slow brewing tea, not something you gulp in one sitting.